I just wanted to share my Bible study with you guys this morning because I was so blessed by what I read and the things that the Lord showed me today. And I wanted to share with you. And I couldn't just take a picture of it because it's really light ink and it's hard to see. So I thought I would make a video and share everything, okay? So this devotional is found in my Bible, and it goes along with Psalm 25. So if you want to read Psalm 25, you might be blessed by that as well. This devotion is called Hope for the Long Days. I take a deep breath and lean the handle of the mop against the countertop. I feel the stiffness and soreness in my shoulders and back from the vigorous scrubbing I've given the floor. I look at the clock on the stove and can hardly believe it. It blinks a mere 8:23 a.m. How long ago did I wake to my 7-year-old's urgent whispering to me, "Mommy, Mommy, Paw peed all over the floor." I rolled over in the gray morning light, hurried down the stairs, and stopped on the final step. The first puddles were under the window. Then I noticed a trail that trickled around, all the way around, the loop that connects the living room, kitchen, and dining room of the open concept downstairs. My father-in-law, who is in the final stage of Alzheimer's disease, had wandered downstairs sometime in the middle of the night and fallen, unhurt, but unable to lift himself from a sitting position. He scooted around the downstairs in his overly saturated nighttime diaper. I woke my husband. He lifted, changed, and cared for his dad while I mopped. I washed the feet of my 3 early rising daughters who had accidentally stepped in some of the mess. We're almost 2 years into full-time caretaking for my father-in-law. We've witnessed many losses of personality and ability. Several times we thought surely we were in the valley of the shadow of death, yet somehow my father-in-law would recover to a new normal for a time. We never know what to expect. There are many levels of grieving and frustration to wade through. It's only 8:23 a.m. Deep breath. My husband and I share a sad smile as he passes me to go clean himself up. I begin making his coffee beans in the grinder. I press down and the churning and chopping begins. The thoughts, the temptations come quietly now, like a blanket offering sympathetic comfort. But I recognize this scheme. If I let that sympathetic blanket drop around my shoulders, I'll be weighed down with self-focus, not free to run my race this day like the Lord wants me to. I need my eyes fixed on Jesus. I pray, Lord, I appeal to you, my God. I trust in you. I pour water in the coffee pot and ask the living water to pour himself into me. For no one who waits for you will be disgraced. Psalm 25, verse 3. The tempter continues to try to wrap his blanket around my heart by directing me to the logistics of the day. It's 8:29 a.m. and you're already exhausted physically and emotionally. You didn't get enough sleep again. Now you have to rush to finish breakfast, nurse the baby, get all 5 kids dressed, and to Bible study. Don't forget to bring your dental x-rays. Your dental appointment is immediately after dropping off the kids for babysitting. Remember to take money to pay this second opinion dentist because the first dentist said you have $19,000 worth of dental work needed. No time to do your hair or makeup. You'll look exhausted and ragged again. But it's okay. Everyone will understand and empathize with you if they know about your morning. You can legitimately quit for the day. Puddles of pee and the entire downstairs mopped before breakfast is enough to justify this. Quit. It's okay. You can quit. I settle the coffee filter in place and pray for a filter for my weary and burdened heart. Turn to me and be gracious to me, for I am alone and afflicted. The distresses of my heart increase. Psalm 25, verses 16 and 17. The enemy tries one last piercing blow. The coffee drips the delicious aroma of liquid comfort I can no longer enjoy due to my decayed and deteriorating teeth. You are so exhausted, and you can't even drink coffee. The enemy extends the sympathetic, self-focused blanket again. But I know that heaviness. I don't want it. I don't accept it. I refuse to quit. Again, to surrender another day, or even part of a day, again. My hope is in you, Lord. All day long, I wait for the other voice I know will come. I preach to myself. In Christ alone, my hope is found. Light seeps in through the slatted window blinds onto the clean floor. I wait. I want the promise. I work on memorizing the words that speak life. The secret counsel of the Lord is for those who fear him, and he reveals his covenant to them. Psalm 25, verse 14. The Lord has taught me that to fear him in a practical and tangible sense looks like obedience, ordinary faithfulness. So I ask to receive. Please counsel me, Lord. His light comes in this thought. Pray to confuse people. As I obey his counsel, my hope is found. So I pray, Lord, help me confuse people. No matter what my circumstances are, no matter what my feelings are, fill me so full with joy and peace that people have to question the source. It certainly isn't me. Life isn't about me. I don't want it to be about me. I no longer want my life to make sense to people. I want to confuse people. My hope is in you, not in productivity, not in enough sleep, not in my own limited energy and ability, not in a miraculous report from the dentist, not in being understood. In you alone I trust. This is a beautiful truth. If we fear the Lord, he will secretly counsel us. He will show us the way we should choose. Today, in the very heart of your own hard situation, I encourage you to pray to be so full to overflowing with the God of hope that you confuse people. And in doing so, direct people to him. Because in Christ alone, our hope is found. May you embrace the peace that passes understanding as you wait for more of him. No one who waits for the Lord will be disgraced. I absolutely love that devotion. To pray to confuse people, to not be self-focused, and to choose to keep my focus on God. Because that's the only focus that counts, and it's the only focus that's going to see us through. And then another part of a devotion that I read from Anne Graham Lotz this morning really blessed me and spoke to my heart. She quoted St. Augustine, who has said, "Our hearts are restless until we find our rest in thee." And the word the Lord gave me for this past year, 2020, was in fact the word rest. And this quote just really sums up that truth. That my heart will remain restless until I find my rest in thee, completely in thee. Jesus tells us in Matthew that we can come to him, all who are weary and heavy laden, and he will give us rest. And that's what I'm desirous of, his rest, his peace. This year has been hard in so many ways and difficult for so many people, and there's just such sorrow and sadness and people with their hearts broken and weary. We just need some rest. You know, I think that a lot of that needs to come from our focus. We need to choose to focus on God, His truth, His word. Choose to memorize it and hide it in our hearts. The Lord reminded me of the story of Mary and Martha. And Martha, she was said to have been worried about so many things. There were things that needed to be done. Dinner needed to be made. People needed to be taken care of. Things needed to be done. And she was overworked and overwhelmed, and she needed help. And she said to the Lord, "Hey, why are you letting Mary just sit there at your feet? Tell her to get up and help me." But Jesus said, "Martha, you're worried about so many things. Well, Mary's chosen the better course. And I'm not going to stop her from that." And it just made me think, at the end of every year, I have this habit of just thinking about the past year and what I want different in the coming year, what I'd like to repeat in the coming year. Some people call these their New Year's resolutions. I think a lot of people make them. Usually mine are very similar every year. But I think that the Lord showed me, Donna, all these things that you want to do or to be or to change, there's only one thing that matters, and that's spending time with Him, focusing on Him. He is our hope. He is our rest. He is our everything. So although there are things in this world and in this life that need to be done, it's not that they don't. They do. They need to be done. But maybe our focus needs to be different. Maybe our focus needs to be on Jesus, His presence, His word, Him. Where is our focus? Because I'll tell you, whenever my focus is on His word, aware of His presence, choosing to worship Him in His goodness, choosing to trust Him in His sovereignty, there's my peace. There's my joy. There's my rest. My happiness will come and go according to life circumstances. 2020 has thrown many people some pretty stinky circumstances, which has taken a lot of our happy away. But Jesus, He's our joy. He's our hope. And He's our rest. And I'm going to choose to focus on His goodness, on His word, and follow. I love you guys.